Okay, so you've had a chance to work on those questions a little bit. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your feelings. Three ways in which the duty that you chose, one of these duties or one of those that was listed there, affects the long-term health of a company. Anybody want to volunteer? Oh, Carson, go ahead.
The first two may be pretty similar, but the first one brings in employees for the company when needed. First, my duty was the recruitment or selection process. The second one would be adds talent where it's needed, so if like they need a specific section or personnel, they can find it. And if not, so if it's not done, this is the third one, then there would be no new employees, or if any would leave, so they wouldn't be bringing them.
Okay, yeah. And that definitely, or if they're bringing in the wrong employees, people who aren't qualified, right, for the job. So excellent points. So what about number 2? Were you able to think of some unintended consequences if it's performed poorly or not performed at all? Or maybe that was part of the first one too.
Me?
Yeah.
There would be no new classes of employees to replace any that have left, and then if people kept leaving and they weren't recruiting, there would be no workers at all.
Yeah, excellent. Were there any? Could you connect that to any of the laws that we have discussed?
The second one, in general, yes, I did the Federal Personnel Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act, the Immigration Reform and Control Act, the Americans with Disabilities Act, and then Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act, so equal employment opportunity.
Yep, all of those things would play into that. Thank you very much. Excellent. Anybody else want to share what they, go ahead.
I kind of looked at termination. So three long-term effects would be you keep an employee that, if you weren't to terminate someone, you keep an employee that is causing issues, so that is negative work environment with culture with the employees.
Yeah.
They could be causing issues because they just don't do their job correctly. And then another thing, if other employees are highly affected by this other person, you risk the loss of other employees.
Yep.
And you don't have anyone to run your company.
Yep, absolutely.
Some unintended consequences, kind of the same thing. If no one's terminated, then obviously issues keep popping up, and then if you don't terminate, then you don't bring in better people. A couple of the laws I was looking at, OSHA and the Fair Employment laws. Another one that I was kind of thinking about was the dealing with illegals. If you keep an illegal, there could be a lot of law issues.
Sure, absolutely. And along those lines of negative consequences down the line for employees and for the company, for customers as well. If you're maintaining employees that really are not well suited to their position, if that customer base could be impacted as well. Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much. Others want to volunteer? Nobody wants to volunteer. You just want me to start pointing again? Okay, I can point. Let's see, Shelby.
So I did training,
Mm-hmm.
and through the three ways, I said it will help to improve the skill sets of employees. It can increase productivity and performance in the workplace,
Okay.
and it can create a higher job satisfaction when the employees feel they can hold their job and over
Excellent, yep.
And then some unintended consequences was customer dissatisfaction with the company if there's no training. So
Right,
it's just
right.
Well, the company's overall worth dropping or losing business to poor employee performance.
Excellent.
And if the employees don't take the training seriously, it can lead to consequences of discrimination.
Right. Absolutely.
And it was kind of hard to find an act or law to go along with it.
Yeah.
But I just related the Age Discrimination and Employment Act to help prevent HR from creating trainings that older employees may not be able to handle.
Fantastic. Fantastic points, all of them. Very good. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that one's kind of hard because there aren't any specific laws saying you have to train, unless it's, you know, in certain industries there would be training requirements. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking of the medical industry, right? And some other industries where there are continuing education requirements in order to maintain licensure. But you're right, in general, there's no law that says you have to train your employees to be good employees and to do their job well, right? Excellent, thank you. Okay, let's see here. Let's do the second page. All of you with last names that are toward the end of the alphabet. Sebastian. What's that?
I didn't find
You didn't find anything? Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me go again then. I called on you last time. Something else. Alexander.
So I chose termination,
Mm-hmm.
and my three things was helps get rid of employees who don't do the job correctly or are unproductive,
Mm-hmm.
And then it keeps a good workforce in the company, and less drama in the workplace, people who butt heads with each other and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And then for number 2, I got you'll end up having employees who are just unproductive or just like toxic to each other, toxic workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have maybe someone who abuses their termination power,
Sure.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
And then for the last thing, I pretty much put like any act that removes like recruitment or firing restrictions, like ACA, civil rights stuff, because
Mhm.
some people could terminate
Yep.
people because of that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Good points. Has anybody ever experienced a toxic work environment because somebody is there that probably shouldn't be there anymore? Yeah? Anything you want to share? I see some heads nodding.
My boss that I currently work for does not fire anybody. Like, I've been there for almost 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
Doesn't fire anybody unless they are caught like stealing. So that's only been like once.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Does that create more work then for the other employees?
It creates a lot of drama, and because it's like, why should I have to do all this work while this person who has the same like stuff to do gets to just like stand around?
Yeah.
And it just makes all the good people quit, find a better job,
Yeah.
and it's just like the place that we're working for is just going downhill.
Yeah.
Because
Yep. Absolutely. So it seeps into everything,
yeah.
right? Most definitely. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. I'm gonna do one more. Who is it gonna be? Leia. Oh, that was you. I'll choose somebody else since you just volunteered that. Unless you want to.
I'm okay.
You're okay. Okay. Thank you. Louisa. Oh, I already chose you. Yep. You volunteered. That's right. Okay. So. Sophia.
Okay, the first one, loss productivity.
What was your topic first off?
Oh,
Yeah.
terminating personnel.
Okay. Everybody liked the termination part. You're all vicious.
So, loss productivity in
Mhm.
work, lawsuits can come from it, short staff, and that could also lead to more work for each of the people that work there.
Yep.
For number 2, unhappy environment, loss of other workers, and for the last one, I did
absolutely, yeah. You have to have a valid reason, and certainly those, to terminate somebody, and certainly disability is not, especially if they've been doing the job, is not a valid reason to do that. So, all right, thank you very much for participating in that. I just have one last little thing, and we're not gonna all share it. I just wanna kind of gather information here. It says 4 things, I actually want 3 things. Wait a second here, I've gotta activate it. Alright, so that should be activated now. 3 things did you learn in class today? I know it says 4 on the schedule, but if you could just quickly type that in, let's see. Let me get this up, if you want to use that. And it could be, I would never want to work in HR. When you're done with that, you're welcome to leave. And have a great weekend. You don't have classes on Monday. I mean, maybe you don't have classes on Monday anyway. There's no classes on Monday. Is anybody still having issues getting their access code to Cengage? Everybody's gotten theirs? Okay. You got it? Okay.
So, one of the discussion was,
Mhm.
for the part that we have for our study groups,
Mhm.
we, like the one that we mentioned for the 6 week, we post that in the, kind of, or we post that along with our regular.
Either way, like if you, so, you know, if, and I know that sometimes students will post the answers to about themselves, and then, because they haven't heard yet from their study group members, and then they'll post that later. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's fine. Yeah, with a couple parts, but yeah.
So the computer in the, like the 3rd row towards the wall,
Uh-huh.
so, cause Sebastian was like working on it and I just saw a bunch of virus pops up, so I couldn't really do anything.
Okay.
So I just wanted to let you know that.
So show me which one?
It's the 3rd row, that one, right there. I don't know if it's like, but it just had a bunch of virus pops up. Just
Okay.
to do something.
Okay. Thanks. And did you get your,
Oh, yeah.
your access? Okay.
That was a silly question, but where are we in the book right now?
Well, we're not, you don't have, chapter 1 isn't due until next week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the introductory problems.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just that?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep,
All right,
right,
thank you.
right. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple more questions, whenever you're ready. There was one, I'm just gonna sign out really. Well, the 9 hours for the class, I was just looking at the one-on-one thing I posted. With your assignments. So that includes class or no?
That includes class.
Oh.
And that's just the expectation of, you know, for any 3-hour class, is that that's about how much work you would expect to have. It's gonna be more for some, less for others.
I was just kind of looking at that, cause like, with the business and learning one class that I had, I ended up dropping it because it was asking for a lot more than I could have taken at this point in time. And so I was just thinking about it, I was like, okay, maybe I need to ask. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, 9 hours is still a lot less than he's asking for,
Yeah, have a good weekend.
You too.